Hey gang, it's Bob Bannister with you from CGCM Rock Radio and the Red, White, and Maple Rock Project with another edition of Rock Talk. Now, before we get going, again, I'd like to ask you to click that like, that share, that subscribe, that comment button. Stay up to date with all things Rock Talk. Stay in the know. It helps you out, lets you know when I've got new videos coming your way, and it helps us out as well with that lovely algorithm. So, the more I delve into the Canadian music scene, the more I realize just how rich it really is. And it's not just in one place. Yeah, I've said that Halifax is a hotbed. Yeah, I've said that Winnipeg is a hotbed. Montreal is really a hotbed as well. And I'm sure Toronto is, and Calgary, and Edmonton, and Vancouver. But this time around, we're making a stop in Montreal. The band is The Fake Friends. And these two guys that I had a chance to sit down and chat with from the band just are absolute rock stars. I want to see these guys live, and they played in my neck of the woods, which is amazing. And I've definitely got to see them live if they come around next time. Maybe you'll have the chance to see The Fake Friends. They've got a brand new project out. You've definitely got to check that one out. So let's step into the Rock Talk studio and chat with The Fake Friends from Montreal, Quebec on this edition of Rock Talk with CGCM Rock Radio and the Red, White, and Maple Rock Project.
I can't get out if you know what I mean. Do you know what I mean? I guess that's the way she goes.
And as promised, we are joined by Luca. We're joined by Brad. They are from the band The Fake Friends, joining us from Montreal, Quebec on this edition of Rock Talk with CGCM Rock Radio and the Red, White, and Maple Rock Project. Welcome in, guys.
Hey
Oh,
Bob,
glad to
how's
be
it
here.
going?
Glad to have you here. So tell us the story of The Fake Friends.
So I'll start. So the project was originally created in the COVID time because
Okay.
we had basically everything was shut down, and we kind of like realized we had found like a loophole of where we could book studio time and kind of just hang out and jam, and it was like chill. And back in those days, as we all remember, going out and stuff was like everything was on pause.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I started this band with my roommate, and we just kind of started off simply just writing songs. And when things like started to open up again, we started doing shows. And this is like there's kind of been a few versions of this band where different people have come and gone, but still like the same singer and as me myself like the same guitarist. Um, so anyway, we recorded like an EP, we did some tours, and then we kind of just started to branch out. We wanted to become more than just like a rock band. We wanted to incorporate some other elements. We wanted the music to be more grand, and we kind of just like assembled a team after like all like the years, and just like finding the right people was very very crucial to the
Mhm.
sound. But like once we did, it sort of like just kind of clicked like magic. So Brad is like, I think no, not the last edition, but
I mean, kind of
yeah.
like to Luca's point, we've all been playing music together for like over a decade at this point in other bands. So it was just like figuring out which parts of the puzzle sort of like orbited back in. A few
Right.
years ago, Matt was like, "Hey, I need someone on bass," and I was like, "Ah, I can't right now." Then he said, "I need someone on keyboard." I said, "I don't play keyboard," and he said, "That's fine. We just want to hang out." So I said, "Okay," but like. I there is someone who's technically newer than me, but I think you guys toured with Tamizi on drums before I was in the band. So
That's
like
true. That's
everyone's
true.
sort of been in the circle already, and it's just like at what point does the timing line up, you know?
Well, like what's kind of great about like the Montreal scene is just there's so many talented people that you will meet and work with, whether it's through shows or creating an album or like just like music and sound in general. Like there's so many people that kind of come and be a part of it. So like finding the right people was very crucial, but like they were always kind of around. It was just like the timing had to be right.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the Montreal scene. One of my good friends and a fellow DJ here on CGCM Rock Radio, Eric Lussier, is he's based out of Montreal, and he's always telling me about the fantastic scene you've got there in that city. I'm a little bit jealous. I mean, I live out in the sticks. I'm in the middle of I'm north of Toronto. I'm in Owen Sound, and
Okay,
and
yeah.
it's like our music scene is pretty small, but it's there, you know.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
sure.
yeah, for sure.
And you've got an album that just dropped, and it is, I got to say, absolutely amazing. It is called "Let's Not Overthink This." What's the story? Give us the story of the album.
For the title, you know what it was that we were like really trying hard to like figure out a title. Naming something is difficult,
It is.
you feel like you have to come up with something so clever and meaningful and special, but like it created so much friction in the brainstorming room that we were just like, hey, let's not overthink this. Let's
Yeah,
try to just be simple about it. And it ended up sticking and kind of
yeah.
just being like, you know what, like the things don't always necessarily need to be super crazy in their meanings, and it just can kind of just be a rock album.
Yeah, like the group chat was a real like war zone for a couple of weeks with like multiple polls and being like, guys, please vote for your ranked choice options. And then one day I think me and Matt were tracking a demo on vocals and like we did like an hour of takes on one line. And then at one point I think one of the two of us said like, let's not overthink it, let's not overthink it. And then we just turned like pointed at each other and we're like, we're here to just play rock and have fun. Why are we trying to like obsess over the title of the album? Like, that's perfect. That sums us up too in our creative process. So it's like, let's just roll with what's fun, you know?
You know what, that is sort of like the attitude of the band is just like it's like let's enjoy music and have fun at our concerts and with the music and stuff. It's not so much about like a big meaning or something. It's done like that by design to like kind of just let the music be light and speak for itself,
Hmm.
and and not have any sort of emotional baggage to it, because that can be a problem, if you write very like meaningful or intense songs. Then you every time you perform them you have to get in that mindset. So we
Hmm.
want to get away from that. We just want to be like, hey, like we like to play live, we like to have fun. Let's let's make a band that represents that.
Speaking of live, what's a fake friends live show like?
Oh
It's a little
man.
crazy.
the the
It
stage the stage gets extended about halfway through the venue wherever we play. It's just a very interactive, immersive experience. There is a splash
Interact.
zone.
I like that,
But
a splash zone. That
oh yeah. Yeah, but it's always a little bit unpredictable. We have a few wild cards in the band that will just do something live and the rest of us kind of, me and Luca will look around and nod and be like, "Okay, we're rolling with this. Cool."
I mean, like our music, like we practice it so that we can be really loose and like do whatever
Yeah.
we want. Like that's
Mhm.
like we have so many cues in our set that are just like so like just like you wouldn't be able to call them out like if you're in the audience, but like we're all kind of waiting for these cues. But like while that's going on, we're just kind of getting crazy with it. I mean, like definitely a splash zone. There's a lot of liquids flying around.
And now, one of our sponsors here on CGCM Rock Radio is Iron Maiden Trooper Beer, and you've just
Wow.
kind of led into one of my questions here. As everybody knows, Yannick, the third guitarist for Iron Maiden, is the guy that will drop his guitar, fall on his face, fall off the stage.
Oh yeah.
We call those the Yannick moments. Have you guys had a Yannick moment live?
I think we have all Yannick moments. Like, it
Yeah,
just sounds like every one of us.
oh yeah, I had a Yannick where I was the poor embattled sound guy in Guelph was trying to fix why I had no signal on my keyboard on I think maybe the second run I did with you guys. and I was like, "Hey man, I'm getting no sound." And like eventually I realized I just hadn't plugged it in. So that was my Ionic moment, and then like playing with deep shame for the next 5 songs, being like, "Oh man, that's an oops."
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
so
sorry.
where does the name Fake Friends come from? Anyway, I've been wondering that.
You know what? I was like thinking about this today, and like because I figured you would ask this,
Ah,
and basically it's kind of like this the title like of our album where we had to like go through so many names and different ideas before one stuck. Like we went through so many names where like they were just like as vulgar as possible just to make us laugh, just to like get like that like you know brainstorming going. And I think
mm.
like it just we like brainstormed so many names and then voted, and Fake Friends ended up being the one. But like I'm kind of glad we chose that one and not some of the other ones because, like, geez,
I've heard some of
we
the other
wouldn't have
ones.
made it that far.
Yeah, no, no, no.
So where do both you guys draw your musical influences from? Let's start with Brad.
Man, so I have sort of like two like spheres of like what I've done musically in my life, and it's like metalcore, post-hardcore stuff. My last project was a post-hardcore band with our singer Matt.
Mhm.
And the other one is my other stage experience is musical theater. So I'm definitely a bit of an oddball. Like I joined the band, they're like, here are all the bands that we draw influence from, and I was like, I've not listened to any of these. But I anything that's like really like like melodramatic, stuff that screamo Disney adult like myself can get into. That's sort of anytime that like I'm like, we could do like a bigger crescendo here. That's sort of where I get to editorialize in the creative process for sure.
I like that. A screamo Disney adult. I'm
Yeah,
gonna make,
yeah. There are
I'm
a
gonna
few of us, but we're a thriving community.
How about you, Luca?
Well, honestly, like, yeah, like I kind of come from the same background. Like, I was in a like a metal screamo band before this, like with the singer of Fake Friends, and also the other guitarist Felix. We just started growing up in the punk scene, metal scene. We would go to there were so many like local hardcore shows
Yeah,
happening, and like when I was like growing up, coming up with that music, like that was my passion, main focus, and I sort of felt like not like I was growing out of it, but I wanted to kind of like become a better musician by like experimenting with other music and like kind of like listening to like more classic rock and stuff and just like
Mhm.
being more into like playing guitar because like metal for sure like as a like a guitarist will teach you so much and you'll gain like so much dexterity but like it's very like in a box so like you kind of once you take those skills and branch them out it's like you become such a better musician for it.
Now, everybody's got one of those songs that comes on the radio or maybe on your iTunes or Spotify, whichever you subscribe to, and it hits and you just go, "Damn, I wish I wrote that."
oh man.
Mm.
Wow. That's what a question, Bob. That's so good. You got one off Rip, Luca?
Oh man, well, you mentioned your sponsor being like the Trooper, so like that
Yes.
song always gets me going like when I hear that, and like I just like have so much respect for those old metal musicians. They just like had so much like everything was played so fast and
Yeah.
like just like so technical, but like even just like songs like Deftone songs, like when you hear like I don't know, like House of Flies or something, like you're just like, man, I wish I wrote that, but like could you really like be the one to come up with like some of these things? It's very like a personal
Yeah.
journey, I feel like, for some of these songs.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I had to call one, I mean, probably like the song that I enjoy the most, like I don't, it's not objectively the best song, but every time Carry On My Wayward Son hits,
Yeah.
that is just like I also worked in a choir for a really long time, so those harmonies is just like that's perfect
Mm.
music. Uh Other than that, I'd say anytime I hear like a really like stripped, like earnest singer-songwriter song that is like perfect, it's not
Hmm.
like agile lyricism. Jason Isbell. Elephant by Jason Isbell is like maybe one of the best written songs I've ever heard. So it's like stuff like that, or really like show tune classic rock stuff, I would say.
Mm.
Very cool. Now, what does the rest of 2026 look like? I know we're only now about a month and a half in. What does the rest of 2026 look like for the Fake Friends?
So yeah, we have a show coming up the on February 13th at the it's called a part of a fest called the Tavern Tour. So it's just like a bunch of shows in downtown Montreal where like in taverns that don't normally have shows are having shows and like
Okay.
a lot of fun happening. So we're definitely looking forward to that. But also in the summer we're going to be a part of the Pooza Fest. And this year we're going to be playing like the outdoor stage. So like I think we're all super like excited and really looking
It's gonna
forward
be
to that.
like I've never played a like an outdoor fest show before, so that's gonna be fun. I think we're on a stage opening later that night. It's Buzzcocks and Cancer Bats, I think, in the St.
Yeah, it's
Catharines. Like
stacked lineup.
it's
It's
nuts. So it's
yeah,
just super exciting that we get to do that.
And the Buzzcocks just dropped a new album as well, too.
Yeah, we I think my second show with this band was opening for Buzzcocks in Toronto. They're spectacular. Like they
Oh
still put
yeah.
on such a good show.
yeah,
Hmm.
So that'll be really exciting. But beyond that, just having now like for a while when I joined, we didn't really have anything recent out or stuff like that. But now we've got this record, and it's like Luca said, like it's a we tried to do more with it than maybe we did with past music. So part of that is let's go to some cities that we haven't necessarily been to before. Let's get back to the Maritimes. We love playing there.
yeah.
Any excuse to get out to Halifax is always valid. So yeah, just spending the summer going on runs, maybe we push our little weekend warrior stuff into some week-long runs, hang out with some
Hmm.
friends that are also trying to go through that area and spend some time on the road together.
And you just mentioned Halifax. It's interesting because that city is starting to really boom. They've got an
Oh
interesting,
yeah.
a really great music scene.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they do.
most
I
definitely.
mean, we were just seeing videos from our buddies in customer service. They just had an
Right.
EDM show that was like absolutely nuts. Like the place looked like true bedlam. So Halifax is awesome. And we're definitely hoping to get back there soon.
Yeah, the
It,
East Coast has such a nice vibe. Like people are so friendly
Oh
that
yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
it's so encouraging to like go out and play music out there because you end up making so many friends and just like everyone's just so welcoming and yeah, like I definitely see like a new generation of in that scene of just like
Mhm.
a lot of like young kids getting into it and like that's always how things continue on. So
hmm hmm Now, what's the one piece of advice that you'd like to pass on to a band that's maybe just hooking up, just maybe starting out now, that you wish somebody had come along and given you guys at that point in your careers?
I think you're only as good as you believe you are. You're only going to be as successful as you believe you are. Because if you think that you're good enough, then you're gonna, think that you deserve the work that you put into it. So, like, I spent a lot of time in bands, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe we can't push it that far. And then at the end, it's like, oh no, we're good. And then we break up 4 months later. Uh, so,
Right.
so I would say like you're only as good as you portray yourself to be. If you believe that you're good, people will also believe that you're good. Like that's honestly the key to success is self-belief.
I definitely agree with that. I think like believing in yourself and carrying yourself like in a way where like you want to be professional and be taken seriously definitely will change the way people view you as a band or like or the way they approach your music. I would just like to add one thing to that, even though it sounds like kind of corny, but like consistency is key. Um, Even if it's like a slow drip, then but it remains like constant, then
Hmm.
it's good because like so many things can come along and derail you in life. And so just figuring out a way to keep the music going or just keep the band going in whatever way, whatever capacity is just like the most, I think, like critical part for success.
Excellent. Excellent.
Luca, it's nuts that I said believe in yourself and you thought that consistency was corny.
All right. So before we wrap this up, I like to do a little thing called this or that. Has nothing to do with music, just some top of the head stupid questions and top of the head answers. We'll play the Canadian edition this time around. So if you guys are ready,
Beautiful.
let's go.
Sweet.
Tim Hortons or a mom and pop coffee shop?
Oh,
Mom and
mom and
pop.
pop.
Mom and pop.
Yeah.
Honey or maple syrup?
Maple.
Maple syrup.
Maple. Yeah.
Poutine or butter tarts?
Oh, poutine.
Puts in.
Yeah.
That's an easy one. That's Canadian duty.
Toque or ball cap?
Oh.
I'm gonna say Toque. I'm gonna say Toque. Unfortunately,
I did that one on purpose.
You're putting us at war here, Bob.
Hey, just be glad I didn't ask Leafs or Habs.
But, I mean, that's also an easy answer, but I don't know if it's one you want to hear.
Oh, believe me, I'm a Habs fan.
Oh, there we
And
go.
all my
We're
listeners
among
know that.
sanity.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Summer.
Netflix or YouTube?
Oh, YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah, the OG.
Yeah.
And finally, pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
I had it today.
I'm not gonna hate on it. I've heard crazier things.
Oh my God, that's coming from Mr. Santilli.
Actually, yeah, it's a Canadian thing, eh?
It is. Our friends
is.
on the left coast created that.
Wow.
That tracks. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And then they turn around and they call it Hawaiian. Like,
Yeah. Bold creative choice.
Yeah.
all right, Luca. All right, Brad. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Rock Talk with CGCM Rock Radio from the Fake Friends. Take a moment and shamelessly self-promote.
All right, yeah, our album comes out February 13. It's called Let's Not Overthink This, and check it out. We got some music videos online.
Yeah,
So,
we got videos out. We got colored vinyl that you can order from our homies at Stomp Records. It's just a fun time. We just want people to listen to this record for half an hour. Oh my God, he's got it on
It's
There
deck.
it
sealed.
is.
It's sealed. I would pull it out, but I'm keeping this baby sealed.
Oh yeah, you have to do
My
that.
retirement plan, guys.
Very, very awesome. Luca and Brad from the Fake Friends, thank you for joining us on this edition of Rock Talk with CGCM Rock Radio and the Red, White, and Maple Rock Project. Don't forget to click that like, share, and subscribe button. Keep up to date with everything Rock Talk, Red, White, and Maple Rock, and the Fake Friends. We'll catch you again next time. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Bob. Great time.